Hello, Internet. It is I, the Malik Aaron, and welcome back to the channel, episode 198. So, the writers and actors strike is still going on as we speak. Nothing's been solved, everything is still at a standstill, and that's just where we are right now. And obviously, with both strikes happening simultaneously, these strikes would cause a very negative impact on the future movie slate. Particularly with movies that are still in the pipeline, movies that are in development, movies that are about to start production, movies that were in production but had to be stopped, and movies that are technically ready to be released but can't because you have no writers or actors to promote these movies. So yeah, it's not great, not great at all. And some stuff has happened the last few days. Most of it happened today. And I was like, okay, I have more stuff to talk about. But the weird thing is, none of it is like super big. This isn't like COVID when that started, when like a bunch of big movies just got delayed over and over and over again. There's a bunch of movies, like, I remember like a bunch of movies that were supposed to come out in like March, April, May, June, July, all of them gone. Poof. In a matter of weeks. It was crazy. But nothing like that has really happened. Thank God. At least not yet. Um, so yeah, it's only a matter of time before we get to that point. But for right now, most of the stuff here it isn't super important, but it is important. It's particularly if you're an awards movie. Like that's the type of movie that's in the danger zone right now, awards movies. And you're about to see that here. But yeah, let's go over everything that happened today. And one thing, I'm not going to talk about this whole Drive Away Dolls like in Dune Part 2 situation because it's just rumors, or it's just like it's something that might happen but it hasn't happened yet. I don't like commenting on rumors and stuff like that. I'd rather talk about stuff that is actually happened, that's actually fact. So until something happens with these movies, I won't talk about them. Okay. All right. So let's begin. So this happened Friday with Challengers, a movie that was supposed to come out in 2 months, September 15th. And the thing is, I literally saw the trailer for this movie in front of Barbie like yesterday. First time I saw the trailer. And it was a bit of a, I imagine it was a bit of a shock for Zendaya fans when the movie got delayed by a whole 7 months. Yes, 7 months. Going from September 15th to April 26th of next year. Like, that's pretty significant, if you ask me. And so you're probably wondering, why would they do this? Well, you don't have Zendaya to promote the movie because you can't. Actors aren't allowed to do like traditional like promotion for their movies. They're not allowed to do like press junkets, interviews, none of that. Can't do it. And Zendaya has a massive, massive, massive following. So obviously, most people who are going to see this movie are going to see it because of her, and pretty much only her. So without her to promote it, it's kind of, yeah. It's just like, why even release it? Like if your draw can't promote it, then why release it at all? So yeah, that's why they did this. That's why they're trying to move it like way into the future, because obviously there's like zero chance this strike is gonna keep going all the way to the new year. I doubt it, because if that does happen, that would literally destroy the next few years of movie going. So yeah, so I guess this is kind of a smart call to push it back all the way then. So, but yeah, for all you Zendaya fans, this has to hurt a lot. And like watching the trailer with the original release date, that was like, I hate when that happens because it's so awkward. Because I'm in my mind, I'm just like, yep, you're not coming out. It's just weird. It's like when I watched the Batman, like in front of the Batman, there was like this DC movie trailer. Like, here's the four DC movies you're gonna get in 2022: the Batman, Black Adam, the Flash, and Aquaman, um, the Lost Kingdom. And only two of those movies came out in 2022. So, and I remember seeing like a Hotel Transylvania 4 trailer as well, and like in the movie theater, and knowing what happened to that, yeah, it's pretty awkward. um, yeah. Um, so yeah, for challengers, it got delayed by quite a bit, and I was like, okay, this is not good. Hopefully, things don't get worse, and things. I wouldn't say got worse, but they just got more confusing. So like the next big thing, like all the rest of this happened like today, except for like one other thing, but I'll talk about it later. Exorcist, the second chapter of this new trilogy, Deceiver, because the first movie is Exorcist Believer. That is coming out in October. That is not changed, and it just got a trailer. The thing is, I forgot this movie even existed. I actually watched the trailer in front of Oppenheimer, and I was just like, "What the hell is this?" Like, I wasn't expecting it at all because I didn't know. I had no idea what it was. Then I heard the music in the trailer. I was like, "Oh, okay, I know what this is." And now they dated the second movie already before the first movie even comes out. Deceiver, which will come out April 18th, 2025. So yeah. Now the thing is, one thing I've learned when it comes to movies is that when like like when a movie that's yet to release, and you already announced a release date for the sequel well before the first movie even comes out, that's a sign to be concerned a little bit. Um, you're asking, like, why would you say that? Well, I remember Fantastic, that superhero classic from 2015, Fantastic. I remember when they announced the release date for the sequel, like way before the first movie even came out. That sequel was supposed to come out in 2017. Obviously, never came to be because Fantastic was Fantastic, and it was such a disaster. So, yeah, that made me like very eerie. It made me feel very just skeptical when like a sequel for an unreleased movie gets a date. I'd never trust that ever. Like usually it would make sense to announce the date after the first movie comes out. That's what Megan did in January. Like Megan came out a couple weeks later, Megan point 2.0. See, that makes sense. That's logical. This isn't as logical to me. I think this has happened like to other movies. I remember Amazing Spider-Man 3 and 4, they had like release dates for like 2016, 2018. I do. Those definitely didn't happen. And I remember Justice League Part 2, that was supposed to be 2019. Never happened. So, and those release dates were put in before their predecessors even released. So I see this as a red flag. Okay, I just see it as a red flag. But for anyone who's interested, well, you're gonna get a whole lot more Exorcist because like we clearly don't have enough exorcism movies out there. I mean, we've only had like what, two in like the last 12 months. So like with like Pray for the Devil and like Pope's Exorcist. But yeah, but for anyone who's interested in like the true Exorcist movies, I mean, I guess this is something to be excited about. But again, I don't trust this at all. I think this is just a way for the studio to be like, hey, our first movie might suck, but just wait till the next movie, okay? It'll get better. That's the vibes I get from this. Okay. So yeah, hell yeah, I think even the Flash, it didn't announce a release date, but it was like, oh, a sequel's in development, like way before the movie even came out, and that just told me I don't think they know. I don't think they believe in the first movie very much. I don't think they have a whole lot of faith in it. I mean, they did. I mean, how they pushed it, but we all know what happened to the Flash, and we all know that sequel will never come into existence because why would it? So yeah, so that's like I guess the big thing that happened today with Exorcist Deceiver. Now we have Poor Things, a movie that was also supposed to come out in September, just like Challengers. It was supposed to come out September 8th. It's now coming out December 8th, so a whole 3 month delay. And this is obviously because, actors can't promote these movies. Because, like, for award centric movies, that's kind of important. Like, they can't rely on a brand, okay? You can't just like these movies like you kind of require like the actors and like the directors to really like sell you on the movie. They have to really talk it up, make it be like, yes, this is something you need to see. Well, if it's like something like from like a brand, you're gonna watch it because of the brand. Like awards movies, they don't have that advantage. So yeah. Um I really don't know how to feel about this. I mean, just like the posters I've seen, it looks very strange, extremely strange. I haven't even seen like a trailer for it, but uh, yeah, maybe this could be interesting. I mean, I'm a fan of Emma Stone. I think she's great, but I don't know how to feel about it. I have no opinion on this. But for anyone who was interested in this, I imagine you're a little peeved right now because you have to wait a whole 3 months when you're literally just a little over a month away from getting it. Um, but I guess this December 8th date, it's not that bad. I mean, December, like the early part of December 2023, it looks extremely barren. So, fill it up. Take advantage, like fill it up. Make it more lively before all the big December movies come out. Or, that might come out. Some of them I don't think are going to come out. I don't think Ghostbusters Afterlife 2 is going to come out at all. I will be amazed if it releases in 2023. But yeah, for Poor Things now coming out in December. So yeah. Yeah. And then the other two things, they're not super important, but I might as well mention them. This happened literally like a few hours ago with this movie called Saltburn, which is from Amazon. It actually got put on the calendar. It didn't get delayed or anything. It got put on the calendar for November 24th, where it gets a limited release, and then it'll expand December 1st. So look at that. Early December is getting more movies. Good. So, I mean, this is positive. Amazon taking movies that clearly they just could have put on Amazon Prime without like on a whim, and then giving it a theatrical release. I mean, that's good. More movies in theaters is good for everybody. So yeah, I have no opinion on this, but hey, it's something. So so that happened, and then this happened Friday as well. Before what happened with Challengers, a movie called Problemista was supposed to come out literally like next week, and it was supposed to have a limited launch August 4th, but then it got yeeted entirely from the schedule, where like a new release date will be determined down the road. Apparently, A24 is doing this because of to support the filmmaker, because like as this article says, furthermore, these awards type indie movies neither stars. Tilt Swinton here, available to do press and raise such fares profile. See, that's with all these awards movies, they need the actors to really sell it. Without them, you can't sell it. So all you can do is push it back. That's the only thing you really can do. Uh and Whitebird kind of had the same thing. Like that's obviously like the way it was supposed to release. It felt like that was supposed to be an award centric flick, and then it got booted to like the fourth quarter of this year. So pretty much any award season movie is in trouble deep trouble. But that doesn't mean everything else is safe. Okay. But obviously, some movies that are going to come out in the next few weeks are going to be safe because they literally have all their advertising. They have like all their TV spots. Like, you can't just yank them out the release calendar like that. Obviously, like stuff like Haunted Mansion and Ninja Turtles and Meg 2, Gran Turismo, Blue Beetle, they're not just gonna remove them at the last second, okay? They're not gonna do that. If that was the case, then they would have removed Barbie and Oppenheimer at the last second, but that was never gonna happen ever. There was a 0% chance of that happening. So, yeah. But yeah, so this kind of like started the snowball that resulted in all the stuff that happened today. But yeah, that's all that happened, in the last few days. So obviously things are not going great. They're not like catastrophic, but it may only be a matter of time before we get to that point. But for right now, it could be a lot worse. But yeah, let's look at the calendar now. So July's pretty much over. So what's the point? August, as I mentioned, Ninja Turtles, Meg 2, Gran Turismo. I forgot about Last Voyage of Demeter. That. Blue Beetle, Strays. I mean, Strays already got delayed once. That was because of the writer's strike. And now you have an actor's strike. So will Strays still come out? Maybe. Maybe Universal will just be like, screw it, release it. Like, they just don't want to deal with it. I don't know. But we'll see. But the rest of August looks safe. In theory, it looks safe, okay? September gets a lot more tricky. Equalizer 3 might might stick the landing. The Nun 2, I imagine that might stick the landing. Like my Big Fat Greek Wedding 3, maybe. Haunting in Venice, maybe. Drive Away Dolls, apparently not, judging by from what I've heard. So we'll see what happens with that. Dumb Money is also supposed to be an award-centric flick, so that might get pushed back. Expendables, that might still release. And the Saw X, Paw Patrol, Creator, I don't know about the Creator. That could be award-centric. Maybe not. I don't know what they're going to do with that. That might still make the stick the landing. Everything in October, I don't see there any real reason, except maybe Killers of the Flower Moon, because obviously it's a war-centric flick. You got Leonardo DiCaprio, you got Martin Scorsese, like, come on now. But maybe that, I don't know. A lot of this is really up in the air. But, the rest of October should stick the landing. Doom Part 2, that might not make November. I really hope that's not the case. I'm hoping it sticks the landing. I hope we don't reach the point where Doom Part 2 gets delayed, because that would hurt a lot. That would really stink. But we'll see. The rest of December, not December, November, I don't know. I don't know. It's it's a coin toss with a lot of these movies. Depends, I guess, on how big they are. Like, if they can survive, without writers or actors promoting them. It very much depends on that. Then you got December, Poor Things now on December 8th. And what is it? I forgot the name of it already. It would start. Let me look it up off screen. Okay, this should not take long. Blah blah blah. Saltburn. That's November, like early, like November date, and then December. That should be fine. The rest of this, the Ghostbusters sequel, no, just no. That's not coming out. I refuse to believe it will come out. Everything else, shoulder shrug. Who knows? And then all these other movies, I don't know. I don't think they'll ever exist at this point. And then you got Whitebird, which will come out sometime in the fourth quarter. And they got 2024. This is where things are gonna go. Wait a minute, Underdogs. What the heck? That was Wait, I thought that was supposed to come out in October, but apparently it's now coming out in January. Hmm. Okay. Interesting. Didn't know that before making this video. Well, it's too late to change it now, but that happened. And then they got February, March. I don't see Beyond the Spider-Verse. That's not coming out in next March. There's no chance. Everything else here, there's challengers now in April. Deadpool 3, I don't see that making it because its production was stopped. So I don't see it making it. And then you got June, all these movies, I don't know. Same goes for July, August, September, October, November, December. I guess like all the Marvel stuff, you would expect all that to get like delayed again. I don't know about Sonic 3 because that was, I believe it's filming, it hasn't started filming yet. It's supposed to start filming next month in late August. I don't think that's going to happen. So maybe they'll push that back. Who knows? And then they got all the 2025 movies here. There's Exorcist Deceiver. Then you got everything else. There's the untitled Dirty Dancing sequel coming out summer 2025. Then everything else here. Blah blah blah. Yeah, I have no clue which movies because sure, right now it looks like it's just awards flicks, but that could change in a heartbeat. We could go from like a small awards movie to a movie like Doom Part 2 leaving the calendar. You never know. So I'm going to be vigilant. I'm going to be watching things very closely, and I will make cancel episodes as soon as, well, not as soon because sometimes I can't do that, but you know, when I can, when I know stuff has gone down, I will make videos on it. So yeah. But anywho, yeah, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, share the whole drill. You want to check out more videos like this? I got playlists on the homepage, all previous cancel episodes I made on the channel. There's now like 198, including this one. So if you want to watch any of them from beginning to now, I highly encourage you to do that. I want to binge them all from beginning to now. Go do it. There's also box office predictions where I predict box office for movies this weekend. I do Haunted Mansion and Talk to Me. Not too sure about First Slam Dunk, but maybe. But I know for a fact I'm doing Haunted Mansion and Talk to Me. Those are guaranteed. And then I guess midweek next week I will do my Mutant Mayhem video because that's coming out on Wednesday. And then that Friday will be Meg 2. So, and then we move on from there. So yeah, stay tuned for those. But if you want to watch any of the past prediction videos I made this year, any other years I've been doing this, you can go right ahead. There's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results for any particular month. July recap. Ooh, boy, it's been wild, real wild. One of the most ridiculous months I think I've ever covered on this channel. Like no joke. And it wasn't just because of one movie; it was because of several. Because some of these movies straight up demolished my expectations and how they would do. Movies like Sound of Freedom, Barbie, and Oppenheimer. Talking about all of those is going to be a trip. So stay tuned for that video. But if you want to watch any of the past recap videos I made on the channel, you can go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.